The things you're proud to own might actually be what's keeping you broke. While you're busy trying to earn more, these 12 financial traps quietly drain your wealth. They look like success but hold you back. The wealthy don't just earn differently, they spend differently. Warren Buffett, worth over $100 billion, still lives in the same modest house he bought decades ago. He once said, "Really successful people say no to almost everything." His wealth came not just from smart investments, but by avoiding mistakes most people make. These 12 traps aren't just bad buys, they're hidden barriers to real financial freedom. Some may surprise you, especially since they're often sold as smart moves by the same industries that profit from your struggles. Here are the 12 worst assets keeping you poor, and why to avoid them. First worst asset is home renovation. That kitchen remodel you're proud of might be quietly draining your wealth. New countertops, custom cabinets, and spa-style bathrooms look amazing, but most renovation dollars simply vanish. A $60,000 upgrade might only add $30,000 to your home's value, if you're lucky. The rest? Gone forever. And it gets worse, renovations are addictive. Upgrade one room, and the others suddenly look outdated. You end up trapped in a cycle: renovate, enjoy briefly, then spot the next thing to fix. John spent $150,000 over 5 years making his home picture perfect. When he sold it in a hot market, he got just $70,000 of it back. Had he invested that money in an index fund instead, it could have grown to over $210,000. That's the real cost HGTV never mentions. Smart homeowners know the difference between maintenance and luxury. Fix the roof or replace the failing furnace, but think twice before dropping $25,000 on imported tile nobody but you will notice. Ask yourself, will this upgrade pay you back? If not, you might be trading long-term wealth for short-term satisfaction. Second worst asset is all the extra stuff you buy. Take a walk through your garage or basement and count how many things are just sitting there, and used for over a year. Unopened tools, backup gadgets, dusty exercise gear, holiday decorations, it all adds up to thousands of dollars quietly losing value. This is called just-in-case shopping. But really, it's money stuck in clutter. The average American home has over 300,000 items. A $40 flashlight here, a $90 kitchen gadget there, a $1,200 treadmill now holding clothes. These things seem harmless, but together they can add up to $10,000 or more. Instead of letting your money collect dust, start selling. Pick 10 items and list them on Facebook Marketplace or eBay this week. One person I know sold off his garage clutter over a month and made almost $3,800, enough to fully fund a Roth IRA. Your future self will be glad you did, while others keep wasting space and money on stuff they don't use. Third worst asset. No boundary financial help. Let's talk about one of the hardest money issues: saying no to people you care about. Maybe it's a cousin asking for rent, just this once, or a friend who's behind on bills. It feels temporary, but often turns into a pattern that slowly drains your future. When you give out of guilt without limits, you're not truly helping, you're just trading your financial future for someone else's short-term fix. One client, Robert E., lent his brother small amounts over 3 years. It added up to $23,000, enough for a rental property that could have earned him steady income. Instead of always saying yes, set a monthly generosity budget. When it's gone, it's gone. And remember, support doesn't have to mean money. Offer job leads, help with a budget, or review a resume. That's real help, without emptying your wallet. If this hits home, drop a "this is gold" in the comments. Let's keep going, because family isn't the only thing draining your wealth. Fourth worst asset is your status symbol car. That sleek BMW with leather seats and fancy tech might feel like a reward, but if it's leased, financed, or stretching your budget, it's really just a costly disguise. Car companies don't just sell cars, they sell status. That's why a Lexus and a Toyota can share the same base, but one costs $20,000 more. You're paying for the badge, not better transportation. Meanwhile, that badge comes with a $900 monthly payment, higher insurance, and expensive upkeep. Over 5 years, that's over $60,000 spent on something that drops in value every day. The truth? Most real millionaires drive modest, reliable cars, often used, because they know a car is just a tool, not a trophy. Let's say you pick a 3-year-old Toyota instead of a new luxury model. You save $500 a month, invest that at 8% for 20 years, and you'll end up with nearly $300,000. That's the hidden cost of driving to impress, lost future wealth. Fifth worst asset, being house rich but cash poor. On paper, you're doing well, $500,000 in home equity, nice neighborhood, but if you're still stressed about money each month, you might be house rich and cash poor. Your wealth looks solid, but most of it's tied up in a house you can't easily access or sell. Meanwhile, property taxes, HOA fees, utilities, and endless maintenance quietly drain your income. Many people overspend on homes to feel successful, only to find themselves unable to handle a $2,000 emergency without credit cards. A beautiful house isn't true wealth if it leaves you cash-strapped. Bigger homes come with bigger bills, more furniture, more utilities, more upkeep. In fact, downsizing just 25% could cut costs by 40%, freeing up money to invest. You don't have to sell, but ask yourself honestly, is your house building your wealth or quietly draining it? Sixth worst asset, credit card interest. Imagine paying $200 every month with nothing to show for it, no product, no service, just the privilege of owing money. That's credit card interest. It's like a subscription to past purchases funded by future income. With interest rates of 18 to 24%, a $5,000 balance can quickly double to $10,000. Minimum payments are designed to keep you in debt for years, with some balances taking over 20 years to pay off. Credit card companies aren't offering flexibility, they're trapping you. To escape, use the avalanche method. Pay extra on the highest interest card while covering the minimums on the others. It's like getting a guaranteed 20% return on your money. Seventh worst asset, degrees that don't pay. You were told college was the right move, any degree, any price. But now, 10, 20, or even 30 years later, that diploma still hasn't paid for itself. Not all education is a good investment. A $100,000 degree with a $40,000 salary ceiling is a poor return. Many people are still paying off student loans into their 40s and 50s while co-signing loans for their kids, continuing the cycle. Run the numbers. What's the starting salary in that field? What's the total cost, including interest? Sometimes certifications, trade schools, or 2-year programs offer a better return with less debt. What's the best financial advice you wish you'd received before making major decisions like education or buying a home? Share your thoughts in the comments, it could help someone avoid a costly mistake. The goal is not to avoid education but to avoid debt that doesn't lead to income growth. Eighth worst asset, whole life insurance. They sold you whole life insurance as both protection and an investment, but it's often one of the slowest growing, most expensive ways to build wealth. The reality is high fees, low returns, typically 2 to 4% annually, and limited flexibility. In the first few years, most of your payments go to commissions, and you may have less cash value than what you contributed. Meanwhile, the insurance company invests your premiums in higher return assets and keeps the profits. A smarter option? Buy term life insurance, which is 5 to 10 times cheaper, and invest the difference in low-cost index funds. For example, a 35-year-old might pay $30 per month for $500,000 in term coverage, versus $300 for whole life. Investing that $270 difference at 8% annually for 30 years could grow to over $400,000, far more than most whole life policies. If you already have whole life, consider consulting a fee-only financial planner to explore options like a 1035 exchange to improve your situation. Ninth worst asset, supporting adult children. Helping your adult children is natural, but using your retirement savings to do so compromises your future. Every dollar given without boundaries is money you can't grow for yourself. This starts as a temporary fix but can become a drain on your security while preventing their independence. Set clear boundaries, make help part of your budget, and consider matching their contributions to loans or savings. Protect your retirement, it's not selfish. If you run out of money, they may end up taking care of you. Help them stand on their own. 10th worst asset, upgrading tech. Tech companies excel at making you feel like your current device is outdated, even when it still works perfectly. Upgrading every year costs hundreds, even thousands, for minimal improvements. The average American spends $1,000 to $2,000 annually on new tech. Instead of upgrading just because something new is available, keep devices until they no longer meet your needs. When you do upgrade, consider buying one generation behind, refurbished, or waiting for sales. Over time, these savings could fund big financial goals like a vacation home or college expenses. 11th worst asset, lottery and gambling. Buying a lottery ticket might feel like harmless fun, but the real cost isn't just the money, it's the mindset it creates. Americans spend over $100 billion each year on lottery tickets, more than books, music, and movies combined. With odds of 1 in 300 million for winning, you're more likely to be struck by lightning or attacked by a shark. The danger isn't just the lost money, it's the hope addiction. You're gambling on a quick fix instead of using that money to build wealth steadily. One client tracked his lottery and gambling spending for a year, totaling $3,740. If he'd invested that annually from age 30 to 65 at 7% return, he could have $518,000 more in retirement. Instead of chasing quick wins, use apps like Acorns or invest in dividend funds. This way, your habit helps you build real wealth. 12th worst asset, the emergency fund. Having $5,000 or $10,000 set aside, just in case, feels great, but where is that money sitting? If it's mixed with your checking account or earning near nothing at a big bank, it's not protecting you, it's slowly losing value due to inflation. The problem is, many people don't have an emergency fund, they have extra money that ends up being spent on things that feel urgent but aren't true emergencies. If it's not separated, it's not safe. If it's not growing, it's shrinking. A real emergency fund needs to be separate, untouchable, and earning interest. Move it to a high-yield savings account that offers 4% or more, compared to the typical 0.01% at a traditional bank. For example, with a $10,000 emergency fund, that's the difference between earning $1 a year versus $400. Set clear rules for what counts as a true emergency, and share them with your spouse or partner. This simple step keeps your money secure and growing, while giving you peace of mind. Building wealth isn't just about investing, it's about protecting what you already have. The wealthiest people I know are experts at avoiding these wealth-draining habits that most people consider normal. If you found this video useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to not miss our future uploads. See you in the next video.